Well, hello, Craftinistas. I am here with an original Curly Girl Crafts idea. I wanted to do something special. I was going to send a gift card a while back and never did. So I thought I would come up with something different. So I stopped by the bank and I picked up some ones, and I wanted some new ones, but of course she didn't have any in her drawer. But she did go through nicely and pick out the nice thin ones for me that weren't all crinkled up. So anyway, I measured the money, and it was 6 1/8 by 2 5/8, and then I cut out some chipboard that was the exact size, 6 1/8 by 2 5/8. So once I got this exact size, I took some clips and a paper clip that I can slide back and forth because I wanted it to be nice and thin, nice, and secure, that there were no holes at the top. And then I grabbed my Mod Podge and then took a nice thin layer and went on top to bind these together. So I just started at one side and then went to the other. One coating, let it dry, and then I ended up doing it 2 more times. I don't know, I may have got away with 2 coats, but I just wanted to be sure and did 3 coats. Now I did one more dollar than what I needed be so I could tear this off and make sure that it would not fall apart. So once I did that, you can see here that it's good and it tore off real good, and the rest of it is intact. I went along and made sure everything was good and I didn't need any more coats, and I was happy that I made this little notepad of money. As long as it's not ripped off, who would rip off money? Gently tear it off. I think it's a cute little novelty idea. So the next thing I did was took some of that Martha Stewart paper that I'm a fan of, and it's nice and thick for this card, and of course it's 12 by 12, so it's going to be 12 inches in length. And then I measured on the sides 2 3/4, and so I just took this 2 3/4 by 12, and as you can see, it's a little short. So once I stuck my money in it, I seen as far as it was going to go, and I made some score lines off camera, and then I went on and reinforced those score lines and that were folded, just so you can see the 2 in the middle there. So then I took the back of the pad and added some score tape, and so I'm just going to score this all down. And once I get it, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going anywhere. Once it's nice and secure, I removed it, and I pretty much hovered it over it to make sure that where I placed it, that's where I wanted it to go, because I know it was going to stick pretty well once I put it down. So I just hovered over it, and I'm doing the back, measuring everything by the back, because the front I'm actually going to add cardstock to it, a layer to it, so the rest that I'm short could be made up for in the front. So I'm laying this on the back, and as you can see, I hovered over it real good, and I wanted to make sure it was placed down real nice and even, and I'm happy with my placement. So this nice cardstock can be folded over the money pad, and it can be torn out gently, and this card can go through. So then I took another piece of cardstock and I just kind of hovered it over and cut out, and it's the same 2 3/4 width. And then I decided to lay it on the back because that crease in the back is okay where it's showing, and then in the front it's going to be covered. So once I got it placed kind of where I wanted it to be, I took my glue and then held down the front so it wouldn't move, to make sure that those are kind of even, that you have two even lengths at the top, or at the bottom, shall I say. And then I took my glue and just went crazy. And once I got that glue crazy, I just pressed down the front. And then I took some more glue and then just got the edges, which I could have been all right since I'm going to add on top of this, but I just want to be thorough and make sure that there's no lifting and that everything is secure. So I just added another layer of glue, and then I was ready to go. Now I cut out some cardstock. I love hollies, and I cut out some paper that was 6 1/4 by 2 5/8 and laid that on top. And then I started getting what I wanted to go on top, my sentiments. I picked up this stamp set from Michael's a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to do the word peace. So I'm just stamping this out. And then once I have the piece out, there is a nice saying that goes along with it. And I'm going to stamp that out too. And I end up shifting it over to the left because on the right I want to write my personal greetings and have room for that, so I didn't want to put it in the middle. And then another piece of cardstock for that. Well, it's the same one. This is just flipped on the back, but it's another piece besides the holly piece. And then this is what's going to go in the inside, and you can see here I have that space there. So now that that's all pressed down, it's coming together, and I'm going to decorate my front now so I won't have to be smashing it while I'm trying to get the inside done. So I have some gold foil there that I punched out, and then I have that little sentiment there. And then I have this die that I picked up at Tuesday morning, and then I'm going to glue that down real securely. And then I've got this gold foil that's going to go on top of that you're going to see in the back of my sequence. And they had some bubbles that go with it. I'm pretty sure you can put some candy or M&Ms in it if you want to, but I just use sequins. And love to get that shaker there. You can see I have some Christmas trees, I have some reindeer, and I have some red and green and gold, and then some more gold here. I think that's enough, so you'll be able to see everything that's in there. And then all I did was just ripped off the strip that came with it, and then I also added some additional glue because I wanted to make sure that it was secure, because I have that very sequined paper on there and I didn't want it to come off. And so you can still see some glue on that as of now because it needs to dry, but it's going to dry clear, of course. So to finish this off, I ended up using the Bow Builder Stampin' Up! Punch. And I glued down the bottom of the bow, and then I put the bow together Now I just need to add the strip to that. And then once I got my bow together, I wanted to add something else, so I added the little pearl on top. And I love how this turned out. Now this just needs to finish drying, but you can shake and see all the little treats and animals in there, and you can see the gold effect. You have that mirrored effect. And I don't know about you, but I would love to get this if someone sent me this as a gift. So I'm just going to go through this one more time and show you how it turned out. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. And if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. And see you later, Craftinistas.